Hello and welcome to 3V TV with me, Tony Brown of TonyLBrown.com, creator of the 3V strategy for business development and growth. It's another Thursday evening. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight. As you know, if you've been here before, it's all about business, branding, and digital marketing. I usually have a guest on each week. However, today, what we're going to focus on is something a little bit different. So it's just me this week, no guests, but you're still going to get a ton of value and you're going to go away with something that you can implement in your business and in your brand today. So again, hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Firstly, as always, I just want to say a big thank you for all your support, all your engagement. Last week's show was a storm. The feedback has been really it's been fantastic. I had Audrea Richmond on, if you didn't catch it, and she shared her story about transitioning from working a job, running two businesses, and just basically being sick of being broke. And she basically shared her transition and shared how she made $100,000 in a 12-month period. And like I said, that went down a storm. The engagement was fantastic. It's had probably, I think, within 24 hours, it had over 100 views. It's been shared on a number of platforms. So yeah, I appreciate your support. It's really valuable. So, simple things, the retweets, the shares, the posts, the reposts, the comments on the YouTube channel, really appreciate it. So thank you. Also, you'll notice I didn't publish a formal episode of the podcast this week. I'm kind of really reconsidering my options with the podcast. If you've heard the 3VS podcast, you'll know it's quite heavily produced. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not just me talking like I do here. So I've kind of reconsidered my positioning with that. But I'm definitely going to go up to episode 10. And then what we're going to do is review and reverse or pivot or whatever, and look at how we move forward with that. Also, I just want to welcome our guest. We have got a guest in the studio. We've got a lot of guests in the studio. Let me just grab this quickly and show you. So just behind me there, you'll see my iPad is set up just over my shoulder. So what we're doing today is we're actually streaming the Hangout live on Meerkat, which is a new live video streaming application. And that's what we're going to be focusing on tonight. So the core content of tonight's show is we're going to look at Meerkat, look at what it is, and look at how you can use that effectively in your business, in your brand, and to really help push your message. So hi to everyone in Meerkat world. Thank you for joining us. What we usually do is I usually field questions here on the Hangout. So if you have got any questions, you can use a question and answers box. If you're in Google+, you can use the question and answers box to the right-hand side, and I will respond to your questions. Also, if you're watching this on TonyLBrown.com/3VTV, there should be at the bottom of the page, there should be a little red box where you can post your questions. And again, I'll pick them up and respond to them live on the show. And if you're watching this in Meerkat land, then obviously we've got a question, we've got like a comment section that scrolls up the page, and I'll try to gauge the questions there and respond to them. So we've got multiple ways of engaging. So today there's no excuse. So yeah. So right, what we're going to do, I'm going to go through a presentation. So and again, I'm going to take you through just my thoughts on Meerkat, what it is, how we can use it effectively in our businesses, how you can use it to engage with your audience, etc., etc. There's been a lot of hype about it lately. If you haven't heard about it, then obviously I'm going to cover that in the presentation, but there's been a lot of hype this week about this this video streaming software, or this video streaming application. So I'm going to jump straight into the presentation. And yeah, like I said, you can engage on a question and answers panel, or you can post your comments on Meerkat itself. So let's get into it. Let me just share my screen here and we'll get into the presentation. Just give me a moment and we'll do this. Okay, so I'm streaming live video on Meerkat right now. This was an image I posted on all my social media platforms just before I launched the Hangout today. And the reason I've done this is to direct people to Meerkat. So obviously a lot of my audience, they're aware that I'm on Google Hangouts. They're aware that they can watch it on the website, but a lot of them are probably not aware of Meerkat, of what it is. And so what I wanted to do was to direct them to Meerkat, to say, just have a look, check it out. Here's a link, go and check it out. So what is Meerkat? So that's what we're going to go through today. Oops. Let me just make sure everything's fine here. Okay, let me click the right one. So what is Meerkat? Basically, it is a live mobile video streaming application. So it's not totally groundbreaking. You know, there have been other video streaming applications. However, with Meerkat, it's live, it's mobile, it seems very stable, and basically it enables you to stream quite high quality video footage via your mobile device. Now, straight away, I'm sure you can see the benefits and also the dangers of something like that. But yeah, that's basically what it is. So Meerkat, it's a live mobile video streaming application. So it's streamed via the Twitter platform. So the way that would work is you log into Meerkat, and it will post a notification on your Twitter timeline saying basically, Tony is streaming live on Meerkat, click here, and then that will take you to the Meerkat platform where you can watch that live stream. However, the key thing to notice is that Meerkat has no formal association with Twitter. In fact, they're basically competitors. So although Meerkat is streamed via the Twitter platform, it is not formally associated with Twitter. Now, Twitter have recently acquired another video streaming service or company called Periscope, and it seems as though they're going to be competing with one another. So a lot of the talk in some of the platforms have been that Meerkat's not going to make it. Once Twitter get hold of Periscope and launch it out there, Meerkat's going to suffer. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, so it's just to say it's streamed on the Twitter platform. If you've got 100, 1,000, 10,000 followers, 1 million followers on Twitter, when you start streaming on Meerkat, all those followers will see in their timeline that you're streaming a live video stream, and they can basically just click a link and watch it on their mobile device. So also you can stream not only live video footage, but you can also stream pre-recorded video footage. So, you know, you can either go planned or improvised. Now, with what I'm doing now, it's kind of a mix of both. I planned to record this, it was scheduled, but it's actually live, so it won't be edited. So this would be classed as a live stream. So like I said, for those on the Hangout, I'm also streaming this on Meerkat. So what the Meerkat audience are seeing is a live stream. So anything could happen. If my kids come through the door right now and I go to grab a drink and knock it over, it's live. It's what you see is what you get. There's also a function within the Meerkat application where you can stream pre-recorded video. So that could be a case of, we record this, I edit it down, and then I stream it again at a scheduled time on the Meerkat platform. So you can do live and you can do pre-recorded, planned or improvised. It is at the moment only currently available on the iOS platform. So all you Android users, you're probably hissing right now. But they've chosen their platform and they've run with it. They've said, we're going iOS and that's it. So it's available as an application on the iPad and on the iPhone. You can access Meerkat streams on the desktop via the web. They've got a web page where you can see what's available and watch the streams there. However, you can't stream yet via the desktop, or that's my understanding. I may be wrong. You may be able to hook up a webcam and stream via the desktop. I might be wrong, but my understanding is at the moment it's only via the iOS platform. Also, you can schedule your broadcasts. So for example, this one that I'm streaming now, I scheduled this broadcast yesterday. So there's two options. You can grab your device, you can hit stream, and it will start streaming live and direct at that moment. The other way you could do it is to plan it, to say, well, I'm going to do a stream at 8 p.m. on Thursday evening, and people can actually sign up and basically register to watch that scheduled broadcast. And the thing with that, you can promote it for more engagement. So you can do images, you can do you could even do a Facebook ad run if you wanted to. You could promote it as though it was an event, basically. So yeah, for me, that's one of the benefits of scheduling the broadcast. So what are the main functions and features? So let's have a look at some of the main functions and features. One of the main things that stood out for me was the leaderboard ranking system. So within Meerkat, there's basically a function or a page where you can see who's crushing it, who's making the most noise, who's doing the most streams, who's getting the most engagement, and they come up in the leaderboard. So that also gives it like a bit of a competitive edge, where people are trying to kind of really rank very high, and they're competing with one another who can get the highest ranking. So it kind of adds that gamification, if you want to call it that competitive edge. But the good thing with that as well is you can, as a new user, you can jump on the platform and basically see who are the big dogs, who's crushing it, and then check out their streams. So that's one of the main features on there. Also, you can view upcoming streams. So again, you can jump on the platform and you can scroll through the list of people you're following to see who's got a live stream scheduled and coming up. Now, obviously, you've got to be following these people to see what's on there. So if I'm looking at mine now, I can only see the streams, the upcoming streams of those people who I'm actually following. So if you want to see more streams, you'd have to follow more people, basically, and follow them on Meerkat as well, not only on Twitter, but on Meerkat. The good thing with that is people can subscribe to view your upcoming stream. So they can basically sign up, they can register an interest beforehand and sign up to watch or to view your upcoming streams. And the other benefit with that is you can kind of gauge, okay, 50 people or 100 people have signed up for this event or for this live stream. So it gives you an idea of the audience you're going to be dealing with. And you can also engage with that audience beforehand, and the audience can engage with one another. So that's another good function or feature. The other thing as well is the sharing facility. So people can like and share your live streams. So again, when people are in there, there's a I mean, looking at this now, I'm just looking at mine. There's a comments section where people can comment. They can like the stream, and they can also retweet it. So there's kind of a retweet style on there. And one good thing with that is if you've got a good stream going and people are really enjoying it, they're finding it valuable, they're feeling it, they can share it with others, and then obviously that will increase the awareness of that stream, and you could potentially during that period go viral. And there's a few examples I'm going to share later on in the presentation, but you imagine you've got 100 people, or even you've got 50 people watching your stream, and you're really giving some real value. They're really enjoying it, they're really engaging well. Each one of those people shares it with someone else. It's live, so it's not like, oh, they'll watch it later on when they get in. They'll watch it there and then, or they could watch it there and then. Those 50 people could quickly turn into 1,000 people just very quickly. So that's another good feature. So people can like and share your streams, and there's a retweet kind of a functionality in there. Also, like I said, viewers can engage during the stream. So like I mentioned earlier, there's a question and comment section. So there's people watching the stream even now, right now, there's people watching. Any one of those viewers could post a question. They could post a question, a comment, and we can engage. So, I think it really gives it a good opportunity to engage with your audience in the moment. So as I'm delivering this presentation, I'm streaming it live on Meerkat. Any one of these viewers could say, well, Tony, could you elaborate a bit more on that? And I can just respond directly in the moment, which is good. And obviously there are other platforms where you can do that. Again, on Hangout, you can do that as a question and answers panel. And in any other type of event, you could post a hashtag, etc., and people could engage via the hashtag. However, this is actually in the stream, so it comes up on the screen as you're actually streaming the video. So it kind of brings a functionality within the event or within the moment, if that makes sense. So, but yeah, viewers can engage in the stream, during the stream. Also, I thought this was interesting, is that you can chat with other viewers before the live stream. So do you remember I said that you can schedule your stream to come up tomorrow, in a week's time, in a month's time. You can basically pre-schedule your stream. Now, every potential viewer who signs up or subscribes or expresses an interest to view that stream gets added to a subscribers list, and those subscribers can basically engage with one another. So I'm just looking at my handset here now, and there's an event here. There's 56 people subscribed. And each one of those individuals, they will see who's on the list to attend, and they can engage with each other before the event. And I think that really gives an opportunity to create buzz and to create some type of excitement leading up to the event. The crowd, it's almost like the queue waiting to get into an event, into a concert, into a conference, and they're in the queue and they're buzzing. They can't wait to get in. They're engaging with one another, seeing, oh, so-and-so's here. Oh, I didn't know you was attending. And they're basically bouncing off one another and talking to each other and creating a real excitement around the event, around the stream. So I think, again, there's a real opportunity there. So what I want to move on to now is how is it being used? How is Meerkat currently being used? Now, like I said, it is still quite new. I only found out about Meerkat last week. I maybe should have done a bit more research before today's show, but I only made a decision today that I was going to focus on Meerkat. So I think it was last night, and basically found out a bit of history about it, which I may add to the presentation when I deliver it again. So I'm not sure when it was launched, but what I do know is that there was a lot of buzz around Meerkat last week because of the South by Southwest conference. And that's how I found out about it. I was on Twitter, and I just kept on seeing, Meerkat coming up in the Twitter stream, and then there was a link posted in a Facebook group that I'm involved in, and again the person just gave an overview of Meerkat, and I went and checked it out, and like I said, there was a lot of noise about it, so I thought, let me just check this out. And the first ever live Meerkat stream I watched was the Mashable one. So basically, what they'd done, obviously, they was at South by Southwest, and Mashable, who are, I mean, they're basically top of the leaderboard in Meerkat at the moment. They're crushing it, right at the top of the leaderboard. They'd done a guided tour of the Mashable house. So they had the live stream going, and they had all these different things going on in the Mashable house, or the HQ, and it just took people around and showed you a guided tour behind the scenes of the Mashable house, and the numbers were ridiculous. The amount of people that were watching and engaging on that live stream was ridiculous. So that's kind of how it's being used at the moment. People are using it for guided tours of their headquarters, for guided tours of certain things. Another way is behind the scenes, which is kind of how I used it today. So obviously I deliver this hangout on a weekly basis, but what I've done today, we start at 8 o'clock. The hangout starts at 8 o'clock. What I did today was I started the Meerkat stream at 7:30, and I gave the Meerkat audience a behind the scenes look at me preparing to deliver the hangout. And obviously the Meerkat audience are watching this behind my shoulder. So, the audience is engaging, sort of facing me, where the Meerkat audience are behind my shoulder looking at me present. So they're getting a behind the scenes view. So it's almost like B-roll. When you shoot a film, you've got the main camera, but then you've got the camera off to the side to capture the B-roll. So one way I saw it being used, which was great, was again at South by Southwest last week. Gary Vaynerchuk, he turned on his stream and basically showed us the green room. So this is where all the speakers, etc., were hanging out before their keynotes or before their presentations, etc. And it just gave you kind of an opportunity to see behind the scenes. Okay, that's what it's like. That's what happens behind the scenes. And again, you kind of feel like you feel a bit special. Like, okay, you get to kind of see what you don't usually see. You go to those events, you only see what's presented on the stage, unless you're involved in the coordinating or you're actually a speaker. You only see what's presented on the stage. You only see the front facing, where with this, it gives you an opportunity to see behind the scenes. So that was a good way it was used as well. And thirdly, again, using Gary Vaynerchuk as an example, it's an opportunity to give your audience VIP access. It's going to give them access to something that they probably wouldn't have the opportunity to have. And again, like I said, the green room, that's the same type of thing. Unless you're a speaker, you're not going to have opportunities to go into the green room. What Gary did, and I take my hat off to him, he basically, on his own Twitter profile or Meerkat profile, he basically streamed his own keynote at South by Southwest. And basically we had a front row seat to Gary giving his speech, giving his talk. And, I probably wouldn't have seen that. I'm here in the UK. I haven't gone out there to go and engage or to take part in that event. we probably would have seen it probably a few months down the line on YouTube or somewhere else. But I got to watch that live in the moment via Meerkat, because Gary turned it on and just recorded it, just filmed it, or streamed it, I should say. And the other thing was we were able to comment, and there was a real community built in the moment. It wasn't an ongoing community. We haven't, those that shared that experience haven't really engaged since then. However, in that moment, there was a real community built. There was probably at one point about 1,500 people watching that live stream, and the comments were just flying up the page. And it was all because we were given access to something that we probably wouldn't have had. So that's 3 ways of how it's currently being used. So guided tours, behind the scenes, and VIP access. So what are the opportunities for business owners, for those with a brand, those with a project, with a message? What are the opportunities with this application? What can we do with it? What's the potential? I've got a few thoughts, and it's not far off what I've just shared. So for me, one of the biggest opportunities is it's a level playing field. It's a new platform. It's a new application. There are new communities being built, and it's almost like there's land up for grabs. And the question is, who wants it? Who wants it? Now, think back, if you will, think back to when, let's say, when Twitter first launched, and you were one of the first people to get on Twitter, to start engaging on the platform, and to really establish yourself as a big player on the Twitter platform. What would your Twitter profile look like now? What would your your followers or whatever? What would your reputation on Twitter be like now? You'd be well recognized. Imagine you was one of the first people to grab a YouTube channel and to really establish yourself with a purpose on YouTube. What would your channel be like? What would your subscription list be like? You'd basically be very established on that platform. So what I'm seeing at the moment is it's a real level playing field. And again, just by way of example, I'm just going to have a look at this. So on the leaderboard at the moment, the top 3, this is the top 3 people on the leaderboard. Number 1, like I said earlier, is Mashable. In second place is a young man by the name of Jeff Needles. And in third place is Jimmy Fallon. So those are the top 3. Mashable, a huge tech company, social media company. They're doing their thing. They're well recognized. They're established. They're a big brand. Second place is Jeff Needles. Now, when I went and checked Jeff Needles' Twitter profile, I think he had about 670 followers. Mashable have got 5 million, over 5 million followers. So you imagine Mashable's got 5 million followers. This guy, Jeff Needles, on his Twitter profile has got 670 followers. Now, I'm not sure what he does outside of his personal profile. He could be a big tech blogger. He could be a gamer. I'm not sure. I may be ignorant. He could be a big player in the game. However, just looking at that, someone with 600 followers on Twitter is ranked second to someone with 5.11 million followers. And then underneath him is Jimmy Fallon. And, Jimmy Fallon is on mainstream primetime TV across the whole of America, day in and day out. And he's in third place. So what I'm saying is this platform has created a level playing field for those that want to play. If you want to play in this space, if you want to stream in this place, if you want to build your reputation and build a profile and some authority, there's an opportunity to do that. All you've got to do is just get on the platform and stream something of value. So again, like I said, there's a level playing field. There's land up for grabs. Who wants it? Another opportunity is the live engagements, and I think for me this is a big thing. The fact that in the moment you can interact in the moment on the platform, so you haven't got to go to another device or go to another app to engage. You can do it in the moment. So, like I said, I'm streaming this live now. I could post a question live on the video, and somebody in the audience could respond, and I could respond live on video, and I haven't got to do it through a third-party app. I'm doing it live on the same platform in the moment. So it's almost like there's two ways you could look at it. The audience could help shape the content. So it's a little bit like a lot of people are doing the Ask Gary V show, the Ask Pat podcast, etc. There's a lot of it's almost like co-created. The audience are co-creating the content. You ask the questions, we post the answers. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Gary V actually started doing a live stream of the Ask Gary V show. He's probably done a behind the scenes already. But yeah, I think that's a real opportunity there, the live engagement aspect. Also, I think another big opportunity is the accessibility. So, you've got a real opportunity to build rapport with your target market, with your viewers, with your customers, with whoever you're trying to engage with. There's an opportunity both ways for you to be accessible to them, and for you to get access to them. So again, let's have a think. Think about, for example, someone like Richard Branson. Richard Branson decides to do a live stream on Meerkat, and he's just opened up the platform, and he's just sharing whatever he's sharing, and you jump on that platform and you send a question live to Richard Branson, and he responds live. Hi, Richard. Could you tell us what your thoughts are on this? And he's okay. Tony's asked a question. Hi, Tony. My thoughts are bam, and he responds straight back. That's really going to create a rapport between you and that person, and vice versa. You're going to feel like you've had an opportunity to rub shoulders with them, to engage with them in that live moment, and to really build rapport with them, and vice versa. If Richard Branson wanted to hear directly from his audience, from he's launching a new project or whatever, and he wanted to hear directly what are the customers thinking, what's the target market thinking, he can get access to them. He's just going to post, I'm doing a live stream, I want to hear your thoughts, I want to hear what you're thinking, I want some feedback, get on the live stream and talk to me. It just creates a real level of accessibility, which I think is so valuable. It's so valuable. I think making yourself accessible to your audience, there's so much value in that. In times gone by, with the whole celebrity culture, there's been this separation between those who are on screen and those who are off screen. But things like Twitter, things like this have really almost dropped the drawbridge down. Then it's kind of closed that gap. So that's another opportunity. Accessibility, one of the viewer to the streamer, and to the streamer to the viewer. So it really creates an opportunity to be accessible and to get access both ways. So in conclusion, what are my thoughts on this whole Meerkat thing? What I would say, my main thought is, it's new. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of the fact that it's new. Like I mentioned earlier, it might not be around for very long. Another platform might come and just blow it out the water. Twitter might be plotting its demise as we speak. they're probably watching Meerkat very, very closely and building the Periscope platform with the intention of blowing this thing out the water. Let them have their fun. Let them, let them dominate for a minute. But when we launch Periscope, we're going to blow them out the water. So what I'm saying is, whilst it's hot, get on there and take advantage of the opportunity. Don't wait for it to become mainstream, or don't wait for it to die. Take advantage of it now. So like I said today, I just basically jumped on the platform and learned on the fly. I didn't read up too much in terms of the theory. I didn't, I didn't try to find a YouTube video on how to use Meerkat. I just turned the thing on and started streaming. And, at one stage I had almost 30 people on there, and I was just trying it out, trial and error. So yeah, it's new. Take advantage. Don't wait for it to become mainstream, or don't wait for it to die. It may live on. It may blow up. Periscope might come out and Periscope flops, and Meerkat just really continues to ride that wave and grows. So take advantage of it now. Set yourself up, start streaming, and take advantage of the platform. Also, leverage your existing audience. I think this is one of the key things. So at the moment, Meerkat is sat on the Twitter platform. It's almost like it's hijacked Twitter. So again, for example, you've got 1,000 followers on Twitter. You don't need to build a new audience on Meerkat. You just leverage your existing audience, but you just engage with them in a different way and in a deeper way. So like I've said there, you can develop a deeper level of engagement. You've been engaging with these people for, however long you've had your Twitter profile up. You've been engaging with these people for a year, 2 years, 3 years via tweets. You might retweet them, you might @reply them, you might even send them a direct message. But then to engage on a live video stream will create a deeper level of engagement. So yeah, leverage your existing audience. You haven't got to go and build a new audience. Make best use of the existing audience you've got. And I think lastly, what I would say is, it's easy. It's not hard. It's easy. The main thing is to just do it. Just like I said, just turn the platform on and just start streaming. Don't worry too much about, do I need a script? What if it goes wrong? What if I mess up? What if something happens? What if I slip over and, like I said, spill my drink or whatever? Well, it's live. People understand it's a live stream. They expect to see real things happen. People walk down the street every day and trip over the curb. People, bump into people by mistake. I'm sure someone's had a fender bender today. They've reversed into a lamppost. Stuff happens. So stop trying to risk assess and manage everything, every moment, because ultimately that's going to prevent you from taking action. So it's not hard. It's easy. Jump on the platform and start streaming. And that, my friends, is it. Those are my sort of main takeaways from Meerkat. So I trust you found that useful. Let me just stop this screencast and go back to the live hangout. So yeah, that's it guys. Hopefully you found that useful. Hopefully there's been something in there that you can take away and that you can implement. Again, the key thing for me is, start using the platform. It's there to be used. I had a conversation in a Facebook group today, and people were saying, well, it's going to die, it's not going to live long. And I was saying, well, you're writing it off before you've even given it a chance. Just use it while it's there. If it's hot at the moment, just use it. It's almost like people are scared to get on a platform because it might fail. Well, if that platform brings you, I don't know, even if it brings you 5 new potential members of your audience, whether it's customers, clients, whether it's followers you want, whether it's likes on your Facebook page, even if it only brings 5 people, it's 5 more people you've engaged with. And what's it cost you? You've turned the platform on and you've started. So yeah, so that's it. Hopefully you found it useful, and hopefully you plan to take action. So let me just go over to the showcase window. If you haven't already done so and you're on the Hangout, just go to the showcase window and you'll see there's a link there for Meerkat. And also, I did want to share that I've launched a course this week. I shared last week that the course, I've been working on it for a number of months, and that I plan to launch it this week, and I've done that. I've done exactly that. So my course is actually live now, and what I've done, I've basically launched a video series, just kind of giving you an overview of what the course is about, and just basically sharing with you the process I went through to go from employee to business owner. So if you want to check out that video series, there's a link just here, which is in the showcase section. Or if you just go over to tonylbrown.com, and there's a link somewhere on the page for you to access that. So as usual, thank you for joining me. It's been a pleasure. Again, hopefully you found that useful, and I will see you next week on 3V TV. In the meantime, refine your vision, make it viable, and get visible. All the best and take care. I'll see you again next week.